So you want to use Dear ImGui in Python? Then this video is for you. You will have your very own Dear ImGui window that has buttons, sliders, inputs, and a color wheel to change the theme. Even the background is transparent, so you can use it on top of applications. Wow! Let's jump right into it. For this to work, you will need to install Python 3.10, but also install Visual Studio Build Tools with the C++ Build Tools or options enabled. We can now create our Dear ImGui Python file. So, you will need some imports, and for that we need to use this pip install in the CMD. We will import glfw, OpenGL, ImGui, and some ImGui integrations. We can now create our def main. If everything initialized as it should, we will continue, otherwise we will throw an exception, could not initialize. We will now generate a simple window with our size, a title, and some other arguments. We will set the window position to something like 100, and finally we will make the context. We can now create our implementation with the renderer and create a variable for our slider. The default value will be 0.5. The last thing before our widgets, it's a while loop, which just checks if our window is closed. If it's not closed, we will pull the events, process inputs, and create a new frame. Then we just create the actual Dear ImGui window, can name it cool window, add a text hello there, and a button. If the button is clicked, we will print button clicked. And we can have our slider with two variables changed, and then our slider value 0.5. We will use the imgui.slider float, have the text say slider, use our slider default value, and then a max and or a min and a max. If it changed, we will print to the console the changed slider value, just like the button. We can now clear the background, use GL clear with our color buffer bit, use the imgui.render and our implementation.render, get our draw data, use implement.shutdown, select our code and align it with the while loop, the glfw.terminate, and finally use our main entry point. We will move it to the left using Shift Tab and change our button typo from earlier to button, and now we can run our ImGui app. And there you go, you have your first Dear ImGui app with a great background. We can see that it prints when our button is clicked, it changes the text when our slider value was changed, and it's a working Dear ImGui window. However, you can see that the background is grayish and we have this title bar and so on, which is ugly. So we will remove these using some window manipulation. We will scroll back up to our main function and use window hint with the floating set to true. But we will also need some imports, some Win32 imports, just to access our window and such. And we can continue with our window hints. So we will set the transparent frame buffer to true, but also the decorated to false. So we will remove the decoration. Next up, we will get our monitor. We will get the video mode, and then the screen width and height. When we have our screen size, we can create a window using our screen width and then screen height, but -1. We will set the title to overlay, and then none and none as arguments. We set the window's position to the top left corner, or 0 and 0. We then create a handle using our window. Then we get the window long using our handle. You can use set window long with the handle, our style, and then some attributes that we want, like ex style, ex layered, and topmost. We will set the layered window attributes to 0x000 and so on, 255, Win32 con with the LWA color key. Now, if you want to change these options, you can do that at your will. Before we can test the transparent background, we will need to go to the GL clear color in our clear background section, set them to zeros, and then run it. We can now see that our window is floating in midair, sort of. We can move it around, we can still use it while the background is clear. Amazing. Do you look at that? Let's add some buttons now to make it, or let's add some more widgets to make it complete. We will add some new variables, just like the slider value. We will change it to 0.25, add a slider int value, a checkbox value, a text value, a current item value, and some items to choose from. We will also set the title color. Now we just scroll down and add widgets. So let's add another text and a separator. Notice that I made a typo here, we will fix it later. Below our beautiful button, we will add a checkbox. We will use the changed and the checkbox value as variables. Use the imgui.checkbox. Set the title to enable feature. And if it changed, we just print out the changed value. It's pretty much the same for whatever widget you use. So let's create the slider, the int slider. We use the same arguments as before. We pass our variable. We set a min and a max, and we print the changed number. So the combo box will be a bit different, but still the same. So we just use imgui.combo, set the title, use our current item and items. Now, if it changed, we will just go through the items and print our current item. So whatever they select. Let's add a color picker with the imgui.colorEdit4. We use our title color, and if it changed, we just print the new color. We will also, by changing the color value or title color, change our title border. After that, we will also have a preview text that changes with our title color, so that will also be changed when we use the color edit from before. Let's fix the separator typo from before. Just change it to an A. Then go back and push our style colors because I forgot. You can see that with every push we use our bar color. So when we change the color wheel, it will change all of these factors. Finally, we will pop the colors. I felt like something was missing, so we will add the input text box below our int slider. Now, when we do change this text in ImGui, it will change the preview text below, so it's a bit of an interactable component. And we can now run our application. So there you go, your very own Dear ImGui window in Python. You can see the buttons work, the checkbox work, our slider, our integer slider and float slider works. We can input text, we can change options, and also change the theme color. Amazing! Now, you're free to change this however you want. If you don't want it to be transparent, be my guest. If you want it to be more transparent, you can do that as well. If you want to see more tutorials like this, I do suggest you subscribe, maybe make a content on what you want to see next. You can like the video if you want to support me, and I'll see you guys later.